हाँ, यहाँ पर मीठा है देखिए। एड्रेस सर एड्रेस सर मीठा बोल रहे हैं। एडमिट आप मैं देखूँ पहले तो यहाँ appreciation on their microphone.
इसको भी अलाउ नहीं करना चाहिए। No one should be able to handle microphone. तू परमिशन देना, तू परमिशन दे। विजय से मैं बताता हूँ मुझे। इसमें जा, इसमें जा। हाँ वही किया। अब इसमें
लगाया था एडमिट ऑलमोस्ट
जानकी सर आप वो लिंक से लॉगिन कीजिए ना, लिंक से आप लॉगिन कीजिए जो IAA में मैंने भेजा। गूगल मीट आप ज्वाइन कीजिए। ये सिस्टम से है ना।
हाँ वो कंट्रोल
सर आप अनम्यूट करो।
अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा है, हाईलाइट हो रहा है। अनम्यूट हेलो 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 నీ అక్కడ నేను ఓపెన్ చేయాలా నా మాట వినిపించదు. హలో
వస్తుంది సార్ ఎందుకంటే నేను సౌండ్ పెరిగింది अभी यहाँ पर न्यूज़ चैनल को नहीं दे सकते लेफ्ट లో మీకు ఇచ్చిన టేబుల్ यूट्यूब दे दिया रन हो रहा यूट्यूब సార్ సార్ చెప్పండి సార్. కాలర్ మైక్ ఉంది సార్. ఉంది రవి దగ్గర ఉంది. ఓకే సార్. ఆ స్లైడర్ తెప్పిస్తున్నా సార్. తెప్పిస్తున్నా సార్ స్లైడర్. రాహుల్
అదైతే తెలుసు 75 కన్నా ఫాలో చేసింది సార్. ఓకే రైట్.
అదే చూడండి 75 వరకు మీరు ఉంటారు కదా ముందర యూఎస్బి ముందర నుంచి పెట్టి ఇంకా ముగ్గురు వచ్చి ఇవ్వండి ఆడ అకౌంట్ 50 పైన ఉంటుంది. రాహుల్ గాంధీ ఫోన్ చేయండి సార్. కాలర్ మైక్ తెమ్మనండి. కాలర్ మైక్ తెమ్మనండి. రవి దగ్గర ఉన్నది. ఆల్రెడీ 60 అయిపోయింది. 50 తీసుకోకుండా 75 అనుకో. ఓవర్లోడ్ అయ్యి మళ్ళీ వీళ్ళే ఉంటారు. వీళ్ళే వేసుకుంటారు. మన డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది. ఏం చేయాలంటే ఫీజ్ చేసే ఉంది. అన్ఫీజ్ చేయమన్నప్పుడు కూడా అన్ఫీజ్ ఓకే. మీట్లో పెట్టిన అర్థం లేదు. మీట్లో పెట్టాలంటే చెప్పి సార్ ఓకే ఇందరికి మ్యూటే పెట్టేసాను. ఓకే రైట్. ఇంకా 72 లాక్ చేసేస్తుంది. మళ్ళీ అలౌట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇచ్చిన యూట్యూబ్ నడిచి మీరు ఒకసారి చూడాలి సార్. మాకు లింక్ నేను పంపిస్తాను.
మధ్యలో ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ చేసాను. మీరు పెట్టండి, ఇది ఒక పెట్ట ఇండియా ఇప్పుడు నేను పంపిణీ 2 మంది వెయిటింగ్ ఉన్నారు సార్. 78 అయినది ఇప్పటికీ. ठीक है, రాహుల్ లేదా భరత్ మీ కింద రవి దగ్గర కాలపై కావాలంట, కాలాన్ని తెలుసుకుంటా.
Yes, sir.
And then she joins, she joins.
Speak respect. क्यों बोलते हो कॉल रहता है ऑलरेडी joined है। सर क्या बोल रहा है 75 पीपल तक हेलो करो बाद में रिप्लाई बोलो
Join our meetings. And this is ultimately.
उनके मैसेज डालो పెట్టేసిన ప్లీజ్ డేనా యూట్యూబ్ పోను చెప్పండి బయానీ సార్ కొంచెం చెక్ చేస్తున్నాను బయానీ రాలేదు సార్ ఆజ్ఞానా మీరు కానీ మెసేజ్ పెట్టమని సార్ మెసేజ్ పెట్టమని సార్ ఆయన పెట్టేసి హలో సార్ నేను కనిపించలేదు భయాన్ని జయ
అలౌ చేసేసి జాయిన్ చేసేసాను. వెయిటింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను.
పంజాబ్ బిర్యానీ అని
తీసుకో. వచ్చిన అలో చేయమంటున్నాను.
ఇప్పుడు అడగండి సార్ అంతే.
ఆపాలి. ఎంత రెమిటెన్స్?
100.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. జాయిన్ అయింది.
అవును.
కావాలన్నారు
ఏడబెట్టాను అయిపోయింది. 95 వచ్చింది కౌంట్. ఎందుకంటే ఆయన నంబర్ పేరు కరెక్ట్ గా అయిపోయింది. అయిపోయింది ఎవరు నాకు అసలు నేను ఇచ్చేసి వాళ్ళని అడగదు. మన ఫోన్ మినిట్స్ సారీ రాహుల్ అంటాడు పైన ఒక 10 minutes రాహుల్ సౌండ్ మీ చార్జర్ కాదు. కెమెరా ఛార్జింగ్ పెట్టింది. కింద మొత్తం ఫోటోలు దింపండి.
శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. సర్వేభ్యః అతిథిభ్యః స్వాగతం. I, Bhavani Tripura, Assistant Professor of Sanskrit, deem it a pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of BCCA to the one-day national seminar on sustainable finance and investments, issues and projects. Sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Today, we have gathered here to have more insights on sustainable finance and investments, the issues and prospects. To begin with, may I request Dr. B. Mohan Kumar Sir, Principal BCCA, to kindly come on to the dais and occupy the chair. I request CMA Dr. KCH Murthy Sir, Vice Chairman IAA Hyderabad Branch, to come out to the dais. I request Ms. Anupama Ma'am, Associate Professor of English, to welcome the guest by presenting a sapling. I request Professor K.V. Achalapati Sir, former Dean, Faculty of Commerce, OU, to kindly come on to the dais. I request Ms. Sunita Bai Ma'am, Associate Professor of Commerce, to welcome the guest by presenting a sapling. I now request CMA Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy Sir, Secretary IAA Hyderabad Branch, to kindly come out to the dais. I request Mr. Naveen Kumar Sir, Assistant Professor of Commerce, to welcome the guest by presenting a sapling. I request Vice Principals BCCA Dr. M. Janakiram Sir and Dr. P. Venkataya Sir to escort Chief Guest for today, Professor V. Apparao Sir, President IAA, onto the dais. I request Mr. Vinod Babu Sir, Associate Professor of Commerce, to welcome the guest by presenting a sapling. We have our guest of honor, Professor Sanjay Bhayani Sir, General Secretary, Indian Accounting Association, who will be joining us on the online mode. Our relationship with light is as old as our beginnings. Light stands for auspiciousness, prosperity, and abundance. Light brings brightness and dispels darkness. May I now request all our dignitaries to kindly proceed towards lighting of the lamp to inaugurate today's seminar with the divine thought of Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, leaders from darkness towards light.
ఆ పోస్టర్ డిక్లేర్ చేయాలి.
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళందరూ పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ అవన్నీ ఎందుకు
పోస్టర్ ఒక్కటే
పెట్టు. అంతే
ఇది
అది ఉండని ఎందుకు వాళ్ళు ఉండని ఆన్లైన్ ఇప్పుడు ఏం అవసరం లేదు కదా.
అంటే ఏం
వాళ్ళు ఎవరు వేరే వాళ్ళు వచ్చుడు
డిస్ప్లే చెప్పుతుంటది.
అది అది ఉంటది కాబట్టి చెప్తున్నా.
దాని
Now begin the session with a prayer by Ms. Kushi from BBA.
गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्त शानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
Request Principal BCCA Dr. V. Mohan Kumar sir to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor P. Apparao sir, President of Indian Accounting Association, Senior Professor, Department of Commerce, Osmania University. Guest of Honor, Professor Sanjay Bayani, General Secretary, Indian Accounting Association. Our keynote speakers, Professor G. Naresh Reddy sir, from Department of Commerce, Osmania University. Mr. Satish Kotakota from Vishwasamudra Engineering, Senior Professors Achalapati sir and Vice Chairman of Hyderabad branch of IAA, Dr. Murthy sir. Senior professors, life members of Indian Accounting Associations, faculty members from various colleges, students, to speak with all in mind. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to each one of you. And I apologize for the technical snag in the sound system. At the outset, I would like to thank our keynote speakers and all the guests present over here for accepting our invitation and taking their time out from their busy schedule and obliging us with their presence. Nevertheless, the presence of commerce stalwarts has lit up the day for us. Before we proceed on with our seminar, I would like to just give a brief about Badruka College to the online audience. Badruka College of Commerce and Arts has been established under the aegis of Seth Gasiram Gopikishan Badruka Educational Society in the year 1950. We are 74 years young, and this seminar has been a precursor for our 75-year celebrations, which we are going to conduct on August 2nd next week. We take the pride in being the first commerce college affiliated to Usmania University. We have been pioneers in commerce and management education in the South India. And I would like to inform all our senior professors that this year we had a great placement track record for a commerce students with 18.72 lakhs package for a BCom graduate. I'm honored to welcome you to this national seminar on sustainable finance and investment issues and practices. Today we have gathered to explore the vital role of finance in shaping the sustainable future. As we navigate the complexities of climate change, social inequality, and social uncertainty, sustainable finance has become a beacon of hope. It offers a framework for aligning financial systems with the well-being of people and the planet. This seminar brings together experts, researchers, practitioners to share insights and experiences. Over the next 2 hours, we will delve into the prospects and challenges of sustainable finance, exploring the topics such as socially responsible investing and ESG integration, impact investing in sustainable development goals, financial regulations and policy frameworks, emerging trends and technologies in sustainable finance. Through keynote addresses, we aim to enhance understanding of sustainable finance concepts and practices, foster collaboration and knowledge sharing among the stakeholders, develop actionable recommendations for policymakers, practitioners, and researchers. As we embark on this intellectual journey, we urge each actively share your experience and expertise. Together, let us unlock the potential of sustainable finance to create more equitable, resilient, and sustainable future. Thank you all. Have a great learning experience at Badruka.
Of encouragement. May I now request Vice Chairman IAA Hyderabad Branch, CMA Dr. KCH AVNS Murthy sir to kindly address the gathering. I welcome Professor Indrakani Shekhar sir.
To all of you. The culprit for delaying this program by 25 minutes is me. Friends, Charanjiva, Ki Baba, Nirganaishman Baba, Dalis Mangali Baba, Saubhagya Buddharastu, Kanyada Trayo Babu antaru. అమ్మాయి పుట్టగానే పెద్దవాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా కన్యాద త్రయ బాబు అంటారు అన్నమాట. శుభం భూవత్ మంగళం భవంతు శతమానం భవంతు సినిమా కదా. Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Dharmo Rakshita Rakshita. These are all blessings, Rashish of Sanskrit, and these are pillars for sustainability. This is the philosophy of takes care of sustainability. We normally upset. I have asked my grandparents, also parents. Only my grandparents and my parents. That's no doubt natural, but that's not the life. I should think of future generation. That is sustainable. మా అమ్మను చచ్చిపోయారు ఎన్నో ఏడుస్తాను నేను ఫ్యూచర్ అంటే నా కొడుకు కూతురు కాదండి పలు తరాలుగా దట్ ఈస్ సస్టైనబుల్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ టు టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ప్లానెట్ టు టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ you will achieve peace as well as prosperity. This is what sustainability is. I bought many papers, don't worry, I will finish it in my country. There are many organizations in the country, managed by government of India and state governments. I will read this, but when you those people who want you to write article or paper through channels, this will facilitate you abundant material if you love it in brackets. If you don't listen to it. Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, IRDA, CCFU, IREDA, Solar Mission, NMEE, Green India, Water Mission, the list is endless with me. Faster adoption of hybrid and EV, energy efficiency financing platform, renewable purchase obligations, compensatory afforestation act, Conversion of Adavaru, National Afforestation Program, Namami Ganga, don't take the triangle of Modi, Namami Ganga, and CSR, International Finance Service Center Authority like SEBI, banks. Banks are recently asked, thanks to Sitaraman, they are asked to fund 5% of their loans to sustainability. This is the service done by all these people in India for sustainability, and we should extend our hands to them. Friends, now, what is sustainable finance? It is simply the finance what you lend to somebody, with which not only mere rate of income, which is a selfish motive, no doubt we will try for it, but you have to take care of ECG. ECG and then, not, I am sorry, ECG guy. This is biodiversity. ESG and then, Chapra, Nagotari Ramada, Chapra. Environment, social, governance. These are three aspects. 19 of these are there. World over, we are making a lot of effort to make future bright. To make your future, not your means, not just you, your grand. That is the sustainability objective. And Paris Agreement 2015 has the right steps to make all these things. India, the emission rate is very, very less, but intensity is more. That is more alarming. So we have to take care of climatic commitments. Net zero by 2007. This is not political slogan. Not political. Not anybody. Don't defend even political. This is again sustainable. This should be sustainable motto. Net zero. Climatic finance. Adani groups have issued to Axis Bank and IRDA and Government of India. All these have issued. Please read the finance. They have issued. We have done wonderful work in this aspect, but it's not sufficient. We have to go beyond that. In fact, every one of us is responsible for a bad culture. We don't do anything properly, thinking only for impermanent benefit we do, but that's all wrong. We have to plan for future, and we have a lot of funds have to come for all these projects. Not only Namami Ganga, it's not political slogan. It is really we have done. Ganga river ప్రక్షాళన కార్యక్రమం చేస్తే 40% of the country will be flooded with water. What would you want? Okay. So lastly, I conclude that sustainability finance is not just financing for the purpose of return of income. It's to live the objectives of ESG. And a big thanks to all of you. I wish all of us in individual capacity also contribute much to sustainability. మరో మాట చెప్పాలంటే సస్టైనబిలిటీ నా స్వార్థం బాగుండాలి, ఫ్యూచర్ బాగుండాలి, స్వార్థంగా ఆ స్వార్థంతో మీరు పని చేసినా కూడా సస్టైనబిలిటీ మంచిది. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for reminding us about the basics existing in Sanskrit and bringing out the relativity to sustainability. Thank you once again, sir. I welcome Rabindranath Solomon, sir, into our session. Welcome you, sir. Guest of honor, Sanjay Bayani, sir.
ఆల్రెడీ జైన్ ఉన్నాడు సార్, ఇందులో ఎవరని తెలుసుకోలేదు. ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయండి.
I request Ms. Anasuya Ma'am, Assistant Professor of English, to introduce guest of honor for today, Professor Sanjay Bayani, sir, General Secretary IAA, who is joining today's seminar through online mode.
Afternoon, all the dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, and my dear students. It's a privilege to introduce today's guest of honor, Professor Sanjay Bayani, who is a General Secretary, Accouting Association. He is a distinguished academic and extensive experience in business management. He is currently the Dean Professor and Head Department of Business Management at Saurashtra University, Rajkot. With over 29 years in academia, he has made significant contributions through research, publications, and leadership roles. He is a gold medalist. His leadership roles are as a Vice Chancellor of Saurashtra University, member of Vice Chancellor Search Committee, Independent Director at Rajkot Commodity Exchange. His research experience are completed 4 major research projects funded by UGC, AICTE, and ICSSR. Attended Leadership for Academician program at Tata Institute of Social Sciences and University of Pennsylvania. He had contributions to like 173 empirical research publications in national and international journals. Has written 9 books published and several case studies authored. Guided 27 PhD scholars. 6 national awards for research excellence. He had been the chief editor of Journal of Commerce and Accounting Research. He was an editor and reviewer of various international journals. Right now, he is the General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association. He is the founder chairman of the Indian Society of Training and Development, Rajkot chapter. He represented Saurashtra University at conferences in the USA, UK, UAE, Singapore, and Malaysia. His current interests are in strategy, corporate governance, corporate disclosure, capital market, behavioral finance, and now I request Professor Sanjay Bayani to take over the session.
से फ्रीज है ना, अब यहाँ से रखने से फ्रीज अपने साइड से उनके साइड से फ्रीज है. सर फ्रीज की है.
Patrick sir amongst us, we welcome you sir for the session.
$93 members అయింది.
Not in the meeting. Okay. I'll just try once again. Okay, sir. Sir. Just go back and rejoin once again, please. Every time. Actually, earlier system is not with me, sir. Just now I take it, sir. Just to please try once again, sir.
I will send you link asking to.
Can I send link again?
अदर लिंक भेज के कर सकते हैं.
Your phone number sir. नहीं आप एक बार फोन नंबर बोलिए सर.
सर का मेरा
नहीं आपका
950
950-269-7621. सर ये लिंक भेजिए सर. अभी जो आपको भेजा SMS सर को ये लिंक भेज के ज्वाइन करने बोलिए. सर ज्वाइन नहीं कर रहे. और भाई 1 मिनट उसके लिए 1 मिनट में हो जाता है सर. ज्वाइन नहीं किए आ गए.
Yeah, yeah. Just unmute yourself, sir. Yeah. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. सर एक बार अनम्यूट करो सर. Thank you, sir. Try once again. Yeah. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I request Professor K.V. Achalapati sir, former Dean, Faculty of Commerce, OU, to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. The chairman of the section, IAA, in-charge chairman and vice chairman of the IAA Hyderabad chapter, Dr. KCH AVS and Murthy, my friend, the chief guest, Professor Priya Parao, Professor Naresh Reddy, Professor Dr. Mohan Kumar Garu, principal of the college, Venkataya, vice principal of the college, and Janakiram on the dais, and the executive of the IAA, and today's another invited speaker, Satish Kotakote Garu, and members of the faculty, as well as I think most of them are faculty and some students are also here. At the outset, let me know how many teachers from other than Badruka are here. Oh, other than Badruka. Okay. Which college? Oh, very good. Happy to know that. Yeah, because we are very particular to see that how many focal members are here. Because normally in every host college we find teachers to be absent and only students are there. Obviously, the speaker will have a challenge whether to address the students or to address the teachers. Because the purpose of this particular conference from IAA side is to motivate the members of IAA to undertake some research work in this particular area. So what from 2005 Indian Accounting Association has been doing every year is to invite a subject expert from practical field, and then let us have an update of what is happening on this topic chosen by us. Then we will invite one academic person. He is supposed to identify the researchable areas and the methodologies that you can take up. This is the purpose of the conference from IAA point of view. So we have been successful in that. Last month, I think St. Joseph has conducted a program on GST, and today we are having a program on the finance, that is sustainable development. And next month, or most probably September, which will be announced to you, will be done at Bharati Vidya Bhavan on the financial frauds. So those are the three topics on which you are supposed to write the papers and send it to the Kolkata, where All India Accounting Conference is taking place. And in that, we expect our Hyderabad chapter to perform best and get prizes. As you know, every year, the best paper, at least one best paper from one session, we have been getting it to the Hyderabad chapter since 2005. So we want that to take place. So that is the reason we are very particular that teaching community people should attend this. That is the reason I said Badruka anyway will be compulsory audience. But other than that, how many of them have come from outside, we were very particular. I am happy, sir, to inform you that more than 30 members are from teaching community and others are students. Online throughout India, people have registered. So we will be very happy to hear. I did not expect that I will have to speak. Perhaps being alumni of this association, I did not permit me to sit there in the inauguration. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. But I have utilized that time to announce this. I don't want to speak about the subject because very good experts are there. Mr. Satish Kotakota and Professor Naresh Reddy. Professor Naresh Reddy has conducted international conference on that earlier. Therefore, we have chosen the best experts. We should give maximum time to them. Therefore, I don't want to speak anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words of encouragement. I request Professor Secretary IAA Hyderabad Branch CMA Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy sir to kindly address the gathering.
Good afternoon. I don't want to take much of your time. Only 1 to 2 minutes only I will take here as a General Secretary Hyderabad Branch. I am here to connect with you on the offline mode. So, respected principal of the college, Dr. B. Mohan Kumar, sir, we are very much thankful to you, sir, for conducting this particular program here in your college and giving the facilities and everything here. Thank you. Dr. Chapnagi Ram, sir, thank you for everything. We are interacting from the past 1 week on this program. Dr. Venkat, Vice Principal of the college. Dr. K.C.H. Murthy Garu, the Vice President of the IAA Hyderabad branch. Professor K.V. Achalapati, former President IAA. Professor Sanjay Bayani, sir, General Secretary IAA. Professor V. Apparao, now Senior Professor of the Department, President of Indian Accounting Association. Sir, we are very much thankful to you, sir, for being part of this inaugural function. Now, as a chief guest, Dr. Satish Garu, keynote speaker in this seminar. Professor I. Shekhar, my friend and treasurer of the Indian Accounting Association-Hyderabad branch. Professor Salman, Joint Secretary, IA Hyderabad branch. And my dear friend, Professor A. Patrick, now sitting here. And friends from the Badruka College, Sri Ram, Sri Naveen, Dr. Sri Shailam and other faculty members, teachers from various colleges and students, scholars also even. Right, anyhow, I welcome all you for this particular program. Now, one important announcement here, I will speak from here. Yeah, you please register yourself into the IAA. Those who are not the members of IAA, yeah, you please register as a live member. Now, this is available through online. Now, this is my invitation and request to be part of this. In Hyderabad branch, we have more than 300 members with us. So, you will also part of the IAA family. I welcome you all in the future. You will also going to become the life members of IAA. So, regarding this topic, I want to reserve myself because as a resource person, I will speak on this topic later. So thank you, Vinanda. Thank you very much for this talking.
Sir, I request Ms. Sonal R. Shah, Assistant Professor of Commerce, to introduce Professor V. Apparao, sir, President IAA and Chief Guest for today's national seminar.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, faculty members, and my dear students. What a teacher writes on the blackboard of life can never be erased. With great honor and privilege, I would like to introduce the State Best Teacher Awardee from the Government of Telangana 2021 and Best Commerce Faculty Award from the Institute of Practical Accountancy, Secunderabad 2008. Our today's guest, Professor V. Apparao. Sir is a retired senior professor and currently president in Indian Accounting Association. Sir has completed his BCom, MCom, MPhil and PhD from Osmania University. He is having an enormous teaching experience of 35 years in various subjects like cost accounting, financial management, financial accounting, company law, auditing, etc. Sir has got over 30 papers published in various reputed journals and has attended 50 international and national conferences. He has also organized various seminars and conferences in association with Osmania University and Indian Accounting Association and served as conference secretary, joint conference secretary, symposium director, seminar director. He has also been appointed as executive council member, as a director, Office of the International Affairs, as a chairman, Board of Studies in Department of Commerce, and as a dean, Faculty of Commerce under Osmania University. Sir has also served as principal and vice principal in the University College of Commerce and Business Administration, Osmania University. Sir was the controller of examination and additional controller of examination, director BC Cell, joint director, Directorate of Admissions, Osmania University. Sir is a life member of Indian Commerce Association and Indian Accounting Association, and he is also an executive committee member of Indian Accounting Association. Under his guidance, total 3 scholars have been awarded MPhil and 10 with PhD. Sir, I'd like to call you here and address the gathering. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. All the participants who are attending offline and also online. I came to know that around 600 participants are attending online also. So I once again, good afternoon to everyone. Now, Dr. B. Mohan Kumar Garu, Principal of Badruka College of Commerce and Arts, and Inauguration, because there are so many names in the list. Professor S. Abhirama Krishna may be attending online, we don't know. Sri C. Krishnan Badruka, Honorary Secretary, and our senior most teacher in Association, Professor D. Ogunreddy, Chairman of Indian Accounting Association, Hyderabad branch, and now on the dais, CMA Dr. KCHN AVSN Muthigaru, Vice Chairman, Indian Accounting Association, and also the member of ICWA or ICMA, ICMA, and Professor G. Naresh Reddy, General Secretary, IA Hyderabad branch, and Vice Principal, Dr. M. Janakiram, Vice Principal of Badruka College of Commerce and Arts, and all the invitees sitting among the audience, my colleagues, former colleagues, present friends, Professor A. Patrick, Department of Commerce, and Professor Ravindra Salman, Professor of Commerce, B.R. Ambedkar, Open University. Then another friend, Professor Dr. C.V. Rao Garu, Principal of Private Mahavidyalaya, retired teacher, and my another colleague, Professor I. Indrakandi Shekhar, I. Shekhar, and all the teachers who are attending this program, and my research scholar working at the Mohammed Center, Mr. M. Venkatesh. So he submitted thesis and waiting for award. And another research scholar sitting here. All the students of MCOM and other courses, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I congratulate Badruka College management for taking initiative to conduct this one-day seminar on sustainable finance and investment issues and challenges. This is one of the topics in the Indian Accounting Association annual conference to be held in Calcutta. So I am very happy to associate with this program. In fact, I feel proud and also honored to attend as a president of Indian Accounting Association. Particularly, we are very thankful to, because I am also from Hyderabad branch and presently representing Indian Accounting Association national level. So we should be thankful to the college management and also the principal of this college and vice principal for taking initiation to conduct a local seminar on the same topic. And on this occasion, just I would like to recollect because when we organized 43rd All India Accounting Conference in 2021, actually we have raised certain funds from the private colleges and some of the institutions have supported for conducting the 43rd All India Accounting Conference in Usman University. So we have conducted in a big way, around 500 delegates were attended, and we have raised some funds, and this college management also extended financial support to the extent of 1 lakh. So I take this opportunity to thank college management for extending financial support at the time, because there was a partial corona was ending stage. It was very difficult to organize. In fact, we wanted to drop the organizing 43rd All India Accounting Conference at that time, but because of financial support from colleges like this, we were able to organize 43rd All India Accounting Conference. So we are very thankful too, because this college is one of the best colleges, one of the oldest commerce college in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Badruka College known for commerce and management. Initially commerce, now they are also offering management courses. So I think now students are feeling that it is a privilege to study in this college, because in market, academic environment, normally after the completion of 10+2, now we will search for the degree colleges. General Hyderabad, students and students for Badruka College, Professor Patrick. So that is the image of Badruka College. So they are now sustaining that image for the last 75 years. So we should appreciate now their concern towards academic interest and quality of teaching facilities. You can see so many academic facilities are there, computer lab, etc. So I hope the same will continue in future also. So on this occasion, as a president of Indian Accounting Association, because it is my responsibility to share some information about the Indian Accounting Association, because some of the online participants are there and also offline. Some of you may be knowing about the Indian Accounting Association. So Indian Accounting Association, one of the oldest associations in India, combination of professors, teachers from degree colleges, and also practitioners like the CA, CMS. So we have around 8,500 members in different branches. We have a branch system throughout India. We have 60 branches. So now Indian Accounting Association mainly the focusing on conducting seminars and dissemination of accounting knowledge and also propagation of accounting knowledge in India and abroad through different seminars and conferences on the latest topics. So this is the historical background. It was established in 1970, and almost we have conducted 45 conferences for the last 50 years. And 46th All India Accounting Conference will be held in Calcutta in the month of November 2024, particularly on 23rd and 24th November. So you can also attend. So this is the brief profile, and we have 4 or 5 broad activities. Number one is conducting annual conference. Annual conference. So as part of its academic activities, every year we conduct conference, particularly in the area of accounting, finance, and taxation. And here also we have organized in 2005. Rachadipati sir was the conference secretary at that time. After that, we have organized in 2021. Then this time, the 46th All India Accounting Conference will be held in Kolkata, West Bengal. On the topics, we have identified 3 topics. One is financial shenanigan. This is related to financial misuse and also dishonesty aspects. Then second is sustainable finance investment issues and prospects. Third, GST, unified taxation. And we have 2 common topics, accounting, education, and research. These are the 5 topics every year we discuss, because first 3 topics may be changing and last 2 topics may be common in all the seminars. Because as per the changes in the accounting system and also business environment, so our academic experts and professors will identify the topics and announce in the conference as well. Conduct at different places. Now, these are the topics. And second activities, we are also bringing a biannual journal, that is Indian Journal of Accounting, and that is bringing out half yearly, and particularly in the area of accounting, finance, and taxation, you can publish, and it is online and also offline. And third activity is Young Researcher Award, IAA Young Researcher Award. So IAA also will award Young Researcher Award, those who are publishing papers in reputed journals, and if their age is less than 35 or less than 35, working in different colleges, so they can now compete for the IAA Young Researcher Award. And now this time we have issued notification. The last date for applying Young Researcher Award is 31st August. 31st August. Please visit Indian Accounting Association website, because all the activities, everything is now available in Indian Accounting Association information. Even membership, because we have 8,500 and in Hyderabad branch we have 348 members. 348, like that in other branches also there are members. And you can also take membership by paying 4,000 rupees. And it is automatic. We have now online system, and those who want to take membership, they can visit the Indian Accounting Association website and follow the instructions. Automatically you can pay the amount and get the ID card and also certificate for membership. So it is automatic now. So there is no artificial intelligence using. So this is the third activity. Then fourth is for the benefit of students, particularly 10+2 and also degree students who are studying. We are conducting National Accounting Talent Search Examination every year, particularly in the month of January. January first week we conduct. Then in that there will be participation from intermediate students and also degree students. For intermediate students, we are calling as a junior and senior. So there will be prizes. It is online mode. They have to pay some 200-300 rupees for registration and appear for the test online. First prize around 25,000 for seniors and second prize 20, 50 like that it is there. And for seniors, senior level participation 25,000 first prize, junior is 21,000 and other prizes are there. So like that they will be given a certificate, memento, and also cash prize of 25,000 or 21,000. So this is another activity now conducting by the Indian Accounting Association. Plus, we have the other activities now. Indian Accounting Association mainly focusing on now developing the curriculum in the area of accounting. Particularly, we have curriculum development committee, and also we are planning to organize accounting quiz online. Probably this year it may be organized. So like this, we have so many activities. So it is one of the vibrant associations in India. Association, and we have very senior teachers like Racharapati. We are from here, Telangana, North India, South India. So many senior teachers are there in the Indian Accounting Association and contributing for the development of Indian Accounting Association and also academic community. Now, on this occasion, actually, this finance aspect, the sustainable development, anyway, Professor Naresh and here we have this Mr. Satish speak about the sustainable finance. Now, actually, the education system, on this occasion, that I would like to share, in future, how our accounting education and commerce education will be there. I will take only another 5 minutes and close. So actually, because of changes in business environment and the social and others in the economy, so there will be so many changes in the education system. Actually, based on my observations and also experience, we have changes in business environment. In future, there will be now courses like multidisciplinary and skill oriented. The universities and also education institutions have to offer courses with multi skills. Multi skills is the art of the day. Even UGC also saying that the courses should be designed taking into account skill and also general education. Skill component should be 70%, general education should be 30%. That is the art of the day, because now every business activity linked to the technology. Because without technology, there are no business activities. So that's why all the disciplines, you take commerce, management, engineering, medicine, anything, any subject. Now all the subjects are now integrated with the technology. So that's why, so UGC and also the different state governments and central governments also focusing on developing the skill-oriented courses, skill-oriented, job-oriented. That's why there are 7 points should be taken into account in development of the curriculum. Number 1 is courses should be skill-oriented. Number 2, job-oriented. Number 3, technology integration. Number 4, value-based education. 5, multidisciplinary. Then 6, collaborative efforts. Okay. Then next is practical oriented. So these are the 7 points should be taken into account. So you see the any course, whether it is a BA, BCom, BSc, or no MA, MSc, or engineering, medical, anything. In all the courses, there should be now these components, because except now medicine and some polytechnic courses, actually we are not exposed to practical situations. Mostly, even commerce also we are just teaching theory in the classrooms, but we are ignoring practical aspects. But somehow we have integrated technology for the last almost 20 years. For example, now we have integrated accounting with the Tally, GST with the Tally, for example, Tally. Similarly, finance with Excel. Okay. Now statistics with R, Python. Like that, now we are trying to integrate now technology with our basic core subjects. So in future, if you just impart only basic education, basic knowledge, it is useless. So though we don't know because our career is over and we are not able to learn the technological aspects. We know something about the technology and importance, but teaching point of view, as a professor, we cannot teach R program or Python program or some other computer package because we lack that knowledge because our core area is commerce only. So that's why now in future education institutions should offer now courses with multi disciplinary. That's why engineering college recently started BFSF, banking, financial services, and insurance combination engineering courses. Because as per the state council directions, they started BE course with BFSF course. So this way, now this is the order of the day now. That's why even our state government yesterday announced that they want to establish skill university. Skill university with triple P mode, private public partnership. Okay, so they want to develop the skills of the youth and also focus on employment. So like that, the focus of education and the purpose of education also changing over a period of time. So that's why now institutions like this and universities need to offer courses with these combinations. So with this, I'm very thankful to the organizers. So I hope this conference will be a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you for elaborating us on the future education system and briefing us on the activities of IIA. Now it's time to express our gratitude. I request our principal, Dr. B. Mohan Kumar sir, vice principals, Dr. M. Janikaram sir, and Dr. P. Venkataya sir, to kindly felicitate guests for today. I request Chief Guest Professor V. Apparao sir to kindly come forward. I request all the dignitaries to kindly join us for the felicitation. Request our dignitaries to felicitate Professor K.V. Achalapati sir, former Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Bologna. Now proceed to the felicitation of CMA Dr. CH.A.V.S.N. Murthy sir, Vice Chairman, IAA Hyderabad branch. I request Dr. Rabindranath Solomon, Joint Secretary, IAA, to kindly come on to the dais and accept our token of gratitude. I request Professor Indrakanti Shekhar sir, Treasurer IAA, to kindly come on to the dais and accept our token of gratitude. I request Patrick sir to kindly come on to the dais and accept our token of gratitude. For joining us for felicitation. I now request Vice Principal Academics, BCCA, Dr. M. Janakiram sir, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, first of all, I take this privilege to propose a vote of thanks. Thankfulness is beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. I further proceed to propose the vote of thanks for today's national seminar on sustainable finance and investments, issues and prospects. First of all, I would like to inform that today's seminar, 764 registrations all over India. Then it is there from Jammu Kashmir, Andaman Nicobar, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, all the corners of India. People are registered and almost 600 plus members are watching online. So I thank our technical people for making this arrangement, and I thank Naresh Reddy sir also for each and every minute he helped me in making this program as a grand success. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to thank, first of all, I would like to thank Professor Obul Reddy sir. In absentia, he is a chairman, Indian Accounting Association, Hyderabad branch. Then next one, I would like to thank CMA, Dr. KCH, AVSN Murthy garu. Sir, మాకు చాలా ప్రియమిత్రులు, చాలా ప్రియ పరిచయం. మేము 2015, 16, 17 3 సంవత్సరాలు లగాతార్ ఏకం లగాతార్ మేము కండక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు సార్ మాకు చాలా వెన్నంటి ఉండేవారు. ఏ చైర్ పక్కన ఎవరు ఉండాలని సీటింగ్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ కూడా పంపించారు సార్ మాకు. అంతటి పర్ఫెక్ట్ మేనేజ్. So that sir, I'm very much thankful to you for your presence in this occasion, and I thank Gandam Naresh Reddy sir. Of course, without his help, this program may not be this much success, and I'm thankful to Naresh Reddy sir and my guru, what you call my guide, philosopher, Professor Ajay Bhatt sir. So first of all, I would like to thank him from the bottom of my heart. So whenever I conduct any program, I take first his blessings. I go to him from the selection of the topic to conduct of the program. So I thank him once again. I thank sir. I thank Rabindranath Solman sir, Joint Secretary, IA branch Hyderabad. Treasurer Professor Indrakanti Shekhar sir, IA branch Hyderabad. I thank Professor Patrick sir. I thank senior professor, senior principal, Private College, retired, TV Rao sir. He is also very much close. We have very close association with him. So thank you sir for coming over here. And many faculty members outside other colleges, then our college faculty members, students from our college and other college students, and special thanks to our management, Secretary Sir, Sri Krishna Badruka Sir, and Director General, Professor Krishna Sir. And one more special thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. B. Mohan Kumar Sir. So without his help, continuous support, I cannot conduct this program. So for that, from the bottom of my heart, I thankful to him. And my counterpart, Dr. Venkataya, is also very cooperative in conducting the program. All my faculty members, they helped me a lot in conducting the program. So my special thanks to the technical team. They also, because this time, first time, we are conducting online blended mode seminar. For that, Mr. Naveen and Mr. Mitesh sir, they are helping me a lot. And from the technical side, Bharat is helping me a lot. So that each and everyone, those are helped personally, directly and indirectly. For all of them, my heartful thanks to everyone. Thank you very much. Now session will continue. Please, audience, please stay back at your places. Now technical session will going to commence.
for maybe 5, 6. Sometimes depending on the mood, I buy a paper bag. Sometimes depending on the mood, I also buy a plastic bag. And every day, morning, evening, I deal with my fights at home only because of sustainable nature. Right from the tap water open left while doing a toothbrush to electricity bulbs not turned off in the bedroom to turning on the AC and using a blanket to cover while sleeping in the bedroom by the kids. I have a debate with everybody at home. So that's because of the nature. We're all comfortable with what you're doing. So a sustainable investment funds in India are close to $40 billion that has already flown into India. But that's not even 1% of the fund that we have. So that means the initiative that we all have to take into consideration is commit towards a sustainable environment, buy sustainable product, see if there can be an influence that you can do for making a sustainable product successful in the country. There are global initiatives to promote sustainable investment into the world. It's not just limited to India, it's a global initiative. United Nations declared, announced, and participated in principles of responsible banking, sustainable insurance, and responsible investments. All these factors are making an investment affordable. If you really put, how many of us invest in shares? Wow, I'm surprised. Expected a lot of share traders in this room. Okay, maybe a few online players might be active as well. So when we are investing money, what do you see in a company? Profitability, the options to create a good wealth, multiples of profitability, profit multiples as a wealth or a share value, right? How many of us consider the company doing a environmental support, kind of company doing a sustainable initiative in the country and still invest? It's not there in any of our filters. You go to any website, you go to best of the investment advisory firm, you don't have sustainability as a filter to select a fund. You don't have a sustainability as a filter to select a share. You Google Infosys, 100 names, you Infosys, best IT, growth company, Intel, Microsoft, all those names are there. You don't have a sustainability as a factor to search a company in the country, probably in the world. So that's the sad state of the world when it comes to sustainable investment. So that means it is still at a very nascent stage where we all take an oath to make it responsible and make it successful. So the network for greening the financial system is another initiative that is being taken globally. And task force on climate-related financial disclosures for large corporates is an initiative, and carbon disclosure project. In most of the large companies, you see how many carbon emissions that they have done. You see airline industry, you see manufacturing industry, they declare the carbon footprint impact that they have from their businesses. And sustainable stock exchange initiative, which has not been very successful yet in the world, but it is still moving as an initiative so far. In terms of national green finance instruments, you have loans and grants for these companies, and you have national funds primarily for sustainable investments. Green bonds, we have heard, Cochin Airport is the first one in the country, and credit enhancement schemes. When it comes to the national policy, you have capital subsidies given for these companies, and you have market-based mechanisms, public procurement, and social insurance. These 4 areas are not yet being practically successful in the country. It is still at a national stage, I would say. Financial regulatory measures are all, they have index, but no one really bothers to track and invest based on the indexes. So that's the state. So some other large organizations in the country who are doing investments into this sector is HDFC, ICICI, and SBI. Thanks, you guys have covered in the conversation. Tata, madam, you covered it. Reliance and Info, very well known in the governance side. Aditya Birla Capital has been recently talking a lot of sustainable investment initiatives. I heard similar things from Anand Mahindra as well. In terms of the government, CB, Small Industrial Development, and NABARD, the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Avishkar, which is an NBFC or which runs a microfinance lending company, is also claiming to be a sustainable investment group. Apart from this, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and Clean Energy, Finance Corporation has been incorporated primarily to promote investments in this sector. In nutshell, this is the only few companies and funds who are dealing with this investment. That is also, this is not their primary. If you see overall investment that they do, their investment is less than 5% of this sector. So lot more to do for us. Internationally, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JPMC, JP Morgan Chase are institutions working on it. Minister of National United Nations has been pretty active for the last 13, 14 years on this line, but success has been very limited. In terms of private equity, you have a lot of ventures coming in and a lot of money flowing into NBFC sector in India, especially into microfinance is coming from sustainable investment. Because the way we portray microfinance industry is we are creating self-life and self-help groups, which is one of the largest in the world, larger than China's self-help group. So with that as a caveat, a lot of impact funds are investing in India. So I mentioned first green bonds in the country are issued by Cochin Airport in 2015. It is just a 25 crore, but it changed the way people see sustainable investments in the country, and it has been one of the success stories in the world. In terms of physical location, incidentally, I was there in the airport. When you cross the airport from the other side of the city, entire large portion of acres is covered only with solar panels. Because they have done in 2015, financially it may not be very sustainable because those days panels were very expensive. But now I see a good IRRs even investing into. The good story here is Cochin Airport, such a smaller airport in the Kerala state, is the second largest power generator, electricity generator after state electricity board. So imagine the kind of impact it created for the country. The second largest, till date, 1.6 lakh metric ton of carbon footprint has been saved. It's a huge achievement. Forget about 25 crores of the value, but look at the impact on the environment. And probably you accept Kerala as one of the most green city even today. That's probably because it's there in their blood and genes and they are focusing to invest on it. I was even one initiatives in Hyderabad, sadly. Maybe one of us will have to initiate that. How do you do a best practice in the sector? You contact typically before investing, what do you do? If you invest in a share, you will do online research. If you are investing into a company directly as a shareholder wanting to buy 5%, what do we check? What is the process called? Any thoughts? It is called due diligence. So basically, the corporate, which is investor who wants to invest into a company, will appoint a consultant. Could be a chartered accountant, could be a management consultant, or could be an investment banker to go and conduct due diligence. Due diligence could be vendor due diligence, could be legal, could be corporate, could be financial. It could be complete health check for the company. Based on the due diligence report, you decide to invest or not to invest. So you conduct a due diligence focused on ESG. How is the practice of the company in protecting the green environment? How is the practice of the company in creating employment opportunities or in bringing, I would say, unbiased work environment kind of initiatives? And you have a lot of guidelines, lesser in India, but you have a lot of guidelines in the international market. See how those guidelines are being complied by this company. And then you look at the regulatory reporting that this company has done, concerned with the stakeholders. It could be investors, it could be bankers who lend money, or it could be the promoters who are running the organization. And then you take a decision to invest into the company or not to. Other best practices are track progress. If I have done 1.4 million tons of carbon saving, am I improving my carbon savings in the year on year? So the growth is expected whether it is in the profitability, wealth creation, or also carbon footprint saving. And you have a good governance structures and make people responsible. Rest all same thing that I've already covered during conversation. What are the challenges? Can anyone know what challenges are? Any comments? Right, investors into. The problem, sir and madams, are the investment that I'm making, I'm not able to trust people. People put 50% plastic, 50% corn mesh and make sustainable bags. So it won't be degrading into the soil as per the promised guidelines. And they compete with those who are genuinely doing 100% degradable plastic bags in the market. So you go to some of the good restaurant, these days you get biodegradable plastic bags. I have a company which is 100% complying biodegradable. I'm not able to compete with the people in the market because they put 20% plastic in it. So they are at least 10% cheaper than me. I'm not able to compete in the market because people only say, "Sir, I wanted a compliant. It should look like a biodegradable bag. 10% plastic is okay. For me, profits are important." One of the largest hotel chain, 5-star hotel chain in the country. You have 3 of their hotels in the country in Hyderabad state. 2 of their hotels in Hyderabad state, Hyderabad city. Says, "Sir, I want to comply as per my company guidelines, but I still wanted the lowest price." So somebody who gives the lowest price is the one who is compromising the quality of the product. So this is a greenwash. It's not actually fully green. You paint it with green saying I am compliant. People don't believe in it. So investor wanted to evaluate the real product quality and then only then they want to invest. Is it really green? So you are trying to make money in the greenwashing model wherein you are not fully compliant. Another example, I covered it earlier, sir. You borrow money at 11% average. You lend money to a woman at 23% or 24% average. You have a credit risk because it is unsecured lending. So that's the industry practice. If I'm borrowing at 7% instead of 11%, because my investor says I'm an impact creation, Melinda Gates Foundation said, lend at lesser price. If I borrow at 7, still lend only at 24, how is it a sustainable practice? That's what the market does. I can give you tens of listed companies in the country who borrow money at lower cost and create wealth for their investors and not pass on the benefit for the women on the ground. So that's a greenwash. So while borrowing money, I say I'm a sustainable company, creating employment, etc., etc. But while giving back the same benefit to the woman on the ground really is not working it out. I was the CFO for India's largest listed microfinance company in the country. So I know the practices in the market. Similarly, somebody says, "Hey, I don't torture women for collecting money after 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, I go home as per RBI guidelines." But he won't get paid, the employee won't get his salary paid on time if he's not collecting 100% of the due. So officially he's at home, he's home. Unofficially he's at the home of the borrower, threatening that lady to, "You better, I'll make your life this, that, and whatever." They will use all good, bad, ugly practices to threaten a woman. So these are all the compromises typically growing countries, yet to grow countries will be facing in the name of sustainable investment. So once I have invested and I don't see the real practice, the next investment I wouldn't want to make in India or wouldn't want to make in the country. So you go and tell, so India is developing this, that. What you hear in the public news, what you hear in the market is much, much better than what reality on the ground. So you go and talk to people internationally who are investing into the sector, they're not happy. Because they say, okay, if I have invested 1,000 crores, what is the impact you have created? There is no good measure. There is no standard metric that I can say, oh, I have created 10 lakh employment for women, or I have created self-help groups of so much. Everybody, I did a survey in the market. Everybody said, "Oh, you borrowed money, what did you do?" They said, "I purchased a sewing machine, or I purchased some cloth material, or I have purchased buffaloes." By saying this, women also taken 5 loans from 5 NBFCs. I only have 1 buffalo in their home. If they have purchased 5 buffaloes from 5 loans, you should have been 5 buffaloes at home. So when I went and asked, "Oh, you purchased 5, you took 5 loans from 5 companies. So where are the 5 sewing machines?" She smiles. Said, "I gave money to my husband for his business." This is reality. And I am an advisor for a couple of international investors who come and want to invest in India, especially into microfinance. I get paid in dollars for that. Practically, if you go 80 to 90% of the times, people borrow money for their husbands. Husbands are into the line of business. Because husbands don't get finances at that cheaper rate or finances easily without a security, women become a conduit through which they get loan. So if you go 80%, 90% in front of the investor, you can see some of the recordings of mine. I also said I'm doing sustainability, 25 lakh women borrowers, 25 lakh families, I'm creating employment, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, the numbers are not true. because there's a lot of compromise. So that is greenwash. The major challenge for us in India for sustainable investments is greenwash. People don't believe us, and we also take advantage of it. I gave you n number of examples so far on that. Lack of standardization. When I say I'm doing a good, what is good? I'm good better than him. But if I compare the best guy, I'm not good compared to him. So where is the one standard metric saying every company which is into sustainable has to create 10 jobs for 1 crore of investment? Is there a standard metric? No. Whether I create 1 job for 1 crore investment or 10 job for 1 crore investment, both are considered as sustainable investment opportunities only. So where is the standard metric? There's no standard metric. So that I think the world has to focus on. And 3 is data quality and availability. I created 2 jobs, declared as 10 jobs. Who's going to come and validate? Auditor is also my friend. The advisor is also my friend. The advisor who gets me money get 1% of the 1,000 crore investment I'm getting. He's also, his success is linked to my success. So he will also put whatever presentation I make, and he make 1 crore. I mean 10 crores if I'm raising 1,000 crores of sustainable investment. So huge challenge in the market is these 3. Greenwashing, I would say, biggest, and then data quality and availability is second biggest, and then lack of standardization is the third biggest problem. If we can, as in the country, operate and manage these 3 areas successfully, I would say we would be the world's largest destination for sustainable investments to be flowing into, more than what China is. Because I have been to China, lived in China for quite longer times as part of my business. What you see from China, in China today, sir, from here, and what you see there is completely different. Huge difference. You don't see China the way you see in television. It's like an outside. I mean, what they show it outside is different from what they show it inside. So huge difference. India probably not that smart enough to manage it. So we will be the world's largest sustainable investment flowing in the country if we can address these 3 areas. Challenges continuing. Measurement and impact assessment, I covered it. Regulatory and policy. You don't have a regulatory and policies, especially you recently got PRSR standards announced in 23 balance sheet onwards. Prior to that, there were no standards, and rest others need not comply with. So anything that you do is fine. You just report a number and people are happy with it. So there's nobody who's validating it, and there's no auditor for this. Auditor is only for accounting and reporting a financial statement, and there's no auditor for validating the sustainable initiatives achieved. Cost and resource constraint. I gave the best example. How many of us buy a paper bag for a 20 rupees instead of a plastic bag at 5 rupees? How many of us buy, carry a bag with us? Wow, impressive. I must clap for all of you guys. Good initiative. Highest number I've ever seen so far in my competitions. So cost and resource constraints. I'm just giving paper bag as one example. How many of us buy, sustainable initiative resulted vegetables, organic? How many of us buy organic vegetables? Thank you, sir. 1, 2, 3. Organic, is it? Nice. So how do you trust ma'am on organic reality? Whatever they put in. See, that's greenwashing. And I was advising a company which is India's largest organic, lentil exporter. They have a huge problem. They get competition from non-organic players putting an organic layer and selling it. As a consumer, when buying mango, how will I know it is organic, non-organic? There is no measure. If it is a milk, I will put some lactometer. But for organic, there is no meter. Only some authority has to come, take samples and test it in a lab, then they file a complaint. Even for the regular food, there is no quality guarantee. How about organic, non-organic? So that's a huge challenge of greenwash in the country. I'm not discouraging you to buy nuts, but I'm saying that's a huge challenge. Be aware of. So cost and resource constraints is a major challenge in implementing practically by all of us. If we are buying a green initiative product, we better. So every time Amazon delivers something to me, my wife orders everything online. So I get carton boxes every day, morning, afternoon, right from milk packet in the morning to fruits to veg. Everything comes in a carton boxes these days because they have moved to an organic and moved to a sustainable initiative. I really appreciate it, but that increases my cost. An apple I buy is around 60-70 rupees, whereas on the roadside it is 50 rupees. So what do you want? And he again comes in a petrol scooter only. Not all are into electric vehicles. In integration challenges, technology there is zero, so you can't really integrate the realistic to reporting. Short term versus long term. All of us are talking about sustainable investments and finance because we are looking at long term benefits of the sustainable initiatives. The investor has to track what long term have I done. Did my temperature improve by 1% after 10 years? How would I measure my success? If I have done plantation and I've invested into a plantation company, did my temperature improve by 1% in 10 years? That's a big achievement. But where are we tracking and how are we tracking for 10 years today? So it's all in plans. And then social and environment trade-off. It's all about making a decision between a social initiative versus an environmental initiative. And you always have a tug of war between these two things. Challenges I covered, global versus local perspectives. You want to export to international market because you want to give a good quality, but local people says, I'll give you a live example. With the company that I'm currently working are into road construction. They have 3 large projects of 2,000 crore each in Kerala. So Kerala people wanted good roads. They never had good roads, national highways. They're all educated, highest education literacy rate in the country. They all wanted good roads, but they don't want their own quarries to be operated because they think it's an environmental threat for the state. How do you lay a road without breaking a stone and buying aggregate from the market? So that's what I mean. Global versus local perspective. Local people wanted good roads, but they don't want their quarries to be operated. They don't want their stones and nature to be affected. So you don't have a good trade-off. So what I do is I buy from Tamil Nadu and transport it to Kerala and lay the road. That increases my cost. Because when you buy stones, 70% of the cost is transportation, or 80% of the cost is transportation. Only 20% of the cost is aggregate cost, the stone cost. So if I'm transporting from the Tamil Nadu to Kerala, imagine my cost impact. So that's the challenge of trade-off issues. 2. Tamil Nadu says you are anyway breaking mountains in my state and using it for Tamil Nadu. We are okay with it. How can you use our stone for Kerala? If they are smart, are we not smarter? That's their question. They are also equally right. So how do you build road in Kerala now? For everyday penalty, I have to pay 55 lakhs for the delay of construction of the road. I had to find a trade-off. I do many things to get this work. I'm just sharing you a practical example of trade-off rather than theoretical. Harmonizing global standards is the biggest challenge that you see in the country. And these issues require a lot of bureaucratical involvement, a lot of policymakers and decision makers to get involved. Today, you don't have money to fund your own state initiative. Forget about investment into sustainable products and forget about giving grants by the state government or the central government. And hence, we are not one of the good countries where sustainable investments are going. Future trends to watch, technology. You talk about AI, etc., etc. If you really, I can say one word. I see a lot of presentation with AI and ML these days. How many of real companies are really using AI? Do you all know? My analysis is less than 10%. Every PDH who comes and says I have an AI, they don't have an AI. All they have is an algorithm. Every algorithm used in a software application, people interchangeably use an AI, or they call it machine learning. Zero. It has become a fashion for the people to put AI, ML into their presentations, into their pitch decks or investment decks, so that it becomes an attractive investment opportunity. So we have to be conscious of the realistic technology integration possible for this sector. Expansion of impact investment, greater focus of measuring. Only if you are able to measure and say, hey, if you invest me, my India population below poverty will be improved by 10%. If you say that, probably a lot of a non-profit organization from the international world will come and invest into. But which is not happening because they don't believe in the numbers that they're publishing. I advise America's second largest fund, which is into non-profit organization, which is focused into improvement of vision. It is called Vision Spring. They have operations across the world. They do free treatments, free spectacles, glasses, eye tests, etc., etc., etc. The problem they face in the country like India is numbers are fraudulent. They give a consultant saying 2,000 spectacles. They're getting only 400 spectacles getting delivered. Remaining 600 getting diluted somewhere in the agent to aggregator to contractor to somebody. This is the problem they face in India and Bangladesh. They now wanted to appoint a chartered accountant to go and validate their activities. One, they are doing a social activity. There also they are facing a fraud. And they have to spend more money to appoint an auditor to validate what they are doing. How will this sector grow? I think all of us have to take an oath to support the initiative of sustainable investment and finance, and only then it will work. So the way I see it is, the sustainable initiative will work only if we are working with the heart and not working with the brain. That is my final takeaway for the day. In terms of the immediate alignment of the government and private organizations spending with sustainable initiative, and short term facilitating standardizing green taxonomy and enabling networking platforms for sectoral engage. Probably this is one of the initiatives of engaging professors who will train thousands and lakhs of students going forward. So probably the third item is what we are today doing. And then in terms of the medium term, strengthen the policy and regulatory framework, transparency of information through disclosure standards for the company, developing green finance packages, instruments and markets, and mobilizing green finance from private sector. In private sector, green finance is zero, by the way. And in long term, mainstreaming green lens into investment decisions, basically improving the selection criteria and ensure equity of international green finance. Today, what you get into India is only debt fund, loan that comes into India towards sustainable initiatives or towards sustainable finance. You don't have sustainable equity, shareholding funds coming into India. Probably that is a long-term challenge or long-term aspiration country like India should have. These are my personal thoughts, not from the research. Our future is depending on this. So please start thinking more about it. And if you really execute, even each of us contribute to sustainable initiative, I'm sure funds and investments, debt and equity will flow into the country easily. Work more with the heart than the brain. Would you buy a biodegradable bag? I covered it. And constant innovation is required. You have a plastic bag and you have a paper bag, and now you have a biodegradable. What is next? Can I buy wet vegetables? Can I buy milk in a biodegradable bag? It won't sustain. Can I eat on a plate made with biodegradable material? May or may not work. Liquid, oil. Even if I use a bag, it won't hold in the transportation, it gets burst. So it is not very good. So a lot more, I'm just giving one example where I'm practically dealing with. So a lot more innovation is required in the sector to make this sustainable. Creation of awareness is important. Many of us would have heard Sharia. Muslims believe in Sharia law, and you would know it, man. And there are larger than life funds out of Middle East market who comply with Sharia law and design investment product. As per Sharia law, with little knowledge that I have, you're not supposed to collect interest from the investment. You make a fixed deposit, they don't want interest out of it. But fundamentally, if you keep money for 1 year, assume you keep a crore rupee for 1 year in your locker, not into the bank. What is the value of it after 1 year? 90 lakhs rupees, because your inflation kills 10% of it. If the inflation is at 10%. So all the world is talking about Sharia law. Somebody wants a good fund from Middle East, they will say Sharia funds. How many of us are talking about sustainable funds, sustainable initiative investments? It's not there. So the way we made awareness creation out of need or out of obligation, like Sharia, I think there need to be a good awareness and knowledge on sustainable investment initiative. And I see a huge opportunity like electric vehicles. You must have been crossing 1 out of every 5-6 electric vehicles in the city. I use a Mercedes EQB electric vehicle. I'm very happy with it. So what I'm saying is, it's a big opportunity. You go for electric vehicle, four-wheeler especially, and the only constraint you have is range anxiety. Can I go up to Vijayawada? Can I go up to Vizag? What if I do an innovation and charge it in 15 minutes, and I put a charging stations every 1 hour of drive? You would love to buy an EV, right? It's cheaper, it's environmental friendly, and it's much more economical benefit, and it's more fancier as well in the market. So all I'm saying is, the opportunity can be leveraged by all of us directly, indirectly, or through our students. There could be, graduation announced only on the sustainable finance matters. There could be, educations or MBAs coming on the sustainable matter. It need not be sustainable finance, sustainable initiative businesses. There could be a line of business. And with the sustainable investment evaluation, it's typically an overweight towards environment and social and less of governance. And government already paying more for renewable energy than the polluter. Do you all know? When the government is giving you electricity, they give you at one standard rate. But if they buy renewable energy, they pay 20 to 30% more premium to the electricity generation company compared to they buy from coal or non-renewable sectors. It could be coal, it could be nuclear. So government is taking their own part, but very limited because they have a limited capital and they have a limited money. With this, I'm done with my conversation. I would love to get engaged with all of you. If you have any questions, any thoughts to share with the larger crowd. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, please. Sir, please. As our seminar, sir. Yes, sir. If anybody has got any queries or questions or clarifications, please do. Sir, you wanted to?
Boils down to the conscious part of it, and it's all to do with ethics that are there. I mean, where do we stand when it comes to the way they believe the accounts? When you compare it with the Norwegian country, New Zealand, and others, they rank far better than UK and US, much better. And if you look at us, we are very much below that. It's only basic level that we're there. That's a bigger challenge.
But I watch a movie at 150 rupees in the IMAX theater or any of the better theaters. So the mind is okay to spend on a luxury, okay to spend on entertainment, and not to spend on the well-being, etc. Yeah. So to answer to your point, it's all about mindset. One, we are yet to grow into that country's GDP levels, which are doing well. Two, it's the mindset. So. True. Absolutely. Right, sir. You're absolutely right. And two, what was a good story, whether it is Madam Gandhi or somebody said, what worked well there need not work well today. Look at the growth that the country is having today. I think it's the time to enter. Look at the shopping experience. How many of us place orders online? 10 years ago, what online versus how many of us now? And to my surprise, the literacy ratio doesn't have anything to do with online order. It's all about these discounts and I have a large place to keep all the footwear, and it's not enough. Because everybody in my family has got 15, 20 pairs of footwear. And when I go Mumbai, they say, I get me that brand, this brand. I'm conscious, but I'm helpless because I become a bad dad if I'm not buying for them. So my daughters wanted a water bottle every year, beginning of the school. So I said, okay, buy whatever bottle you want, but non-plastic. All the fancy designs are only in the plastic bottles. So steel bottle, they see, what nonsense is this? Is not looking sexy, this is not looking good. So they got some painted steel bottles, nice design painted. After 2 days, paint came off. They again wanted a plastic bottle. They don't have a sustainable solution for that. Then I was thinking an opportunity, plastic outside and steel inside. But it's a huge initiative. I don't know when it will come into the market. And I said, okay, buy a copper bottle. Then they said, look at my age and you're expecting me to carry a copper bottle to the school. That's a practical challenge and you don't have a solution for everything. But I completely agree with you. I think it's time for us to look at things differently, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, you're saying something? Okay. All right. Hi. Absolutely, it's the right measure to use ESG scores. However, the typical investor is under pressure to deliver wealth to his investor. See, ultimately, an investment comes into a company only to create a wealth for somebody else who's putting their hard-earned money. So they won't bother to look at ESG scores and invest unless they are an ESG focused company. So an investment fund which is clearly to create a sustainable impact will only be considering ESG scores. Otherwise, they wouldn't consider ESG scores. It's good to have, a tick in the box for them. I have recently applied for a 1,500 crore loan for a company with Canara Bank. They sent me a big list of sustainability checklist. I've not sent it. They didn't bother to follow it up. And after 1 week, I asked them, why have you not asked? So that's one of the to-do checklist, but not interested. I'm not interested. It is only, I'm sorry, Canara Bank, I'm just giving one name. You can ignore the bank name. It's because somebody said do it, I'm doing it, but it is not stopping my loan processing in the company. So it is still a tick in the box. It is not really a mandatory for anybody. I think as a country, we have to move into make it as a mandatory process. I think a few years ago, municipal corporation in Hyderabad banned plastic bags. They couldn't sustain. There was a huge smuggling and a lot of resistance from the population. Then they came out with a logic saying 40 micron. If it is above 40 micron, you can use it. So that increased the overall plastic consumption. They thought 40 micron paper people will reuse it. No one wants to reuse, so they will dispose it. And they smartly use that plastic bag as a dustbin bag as well. They don't want to really use it. And that problem is much larger because no one recycles the product. So net, ESG is a good score for a sustainable investment decision, I would say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I think when Patrick sir asked the query or some more clarification, I think the same kind of thing would have come from other people. And there's a ma'am, please.
Yes,
sir. There is a.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So you were talking about greenwashing.
Right.
And my question is, we see, as you gave an example of the organic farming and vegetables. So we keep our trust when somebody says that it is organic. I believe them, but at the same time, I don't know where the issue lies, whether it is at a micro level, starting from the farmers not using or using chemicals or fertilizers, and trying to use organic and trying to mix it and try to get more productivity. And when it comes to market, we believe and we try to take those products. And some way or the other, there is a trust issue. And so I want to understand whether there should be a change at a micro level or at a macro level, that is from the government.
I would say it's across the supply chain, right from the farmer to distributor to stockist to retail outlet. There has to be an expertise, first of all. The retail selling manager in that store doesn't know how to differentiate. Probably the company also doesn't know. It has to be sent to a lab, otherwise you will not know. So, for example, a farmer. I'll give you an example. People say natural, and you think natural means is organic, which is wrong word. It is natural is not organic. Apple is naturally growing. You put pesticides in it, but apple is a natural thing. So people misuse the word natural, and you think natural is a common man's thought. Natural is an organic, and you go and buy. Then you realize at later stage natural means it is natural is only a selling word. There is nothing called natural. Even the rice, natural rice. No one makes rice with plastic. It is grown on the fields only. The practice of cultivating or farming a rice differentiates. Everything is only natural. And you all know as teachers, in this universe, you neither can create something or you can kill something. It has to be natural. Even the plastic is coming from natural ground only. It is a petroleum product. It is natural. So the plastic bottle that I am having in my hand is created naturally. The bottle is natural, the plastic is natural. But the minute it is natural word used, we all get accustomed to a comfort zone saying, it's a good product. nature, fresh, and whatnot. All the good brands will have these tags. We'll have to get into a practical situation. Government also can only do minimal. I think the whole ecosystem need to improve upon. It takes time. So imagine the same example, somebody mentioned Tata. If Tata puts a label on an apple saying it's an organic, probably you will believe it more. But if somebody copies Tata's logo and make a sticker and put it, gone. So you have a risk across. So unless the vigilance practices, government food inspections, all those improve, I don't think we will ever get into the status of our choice. But I see it has to be, whether it is 5 years or 10 years, it has to go there. The faster it goes, the better it is for the country.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, thanks to all. And, the thing is that though we are coming up with too many questions from all, we will address you in personally with mails and all. Organizers will take care of that. And meanwhile, as a sincere thanks to you for your overall presentation. When we talk about it, covers wide area of presentation that includes talking about what you call IT sector as well as stocks and whatnot, everything. And moreover, this will help the research scholars to write too many papers. And even you have, in the last slide, you have covered too many points that draws other people to draw some sort of hypothesis formation. So I think this informative session has been appreciated by everyone. And now I request our principal, Mohan Kumar sir, and vice principal, Janakiram sir, and Venkatesh sir to and Indian Chris to join felicitation of our today's technical session 1. Satish Kotakota sir, please. Please. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks, sir.
ठीक जाता मैं रहता है यहाँ पर फोन
Thank you, sir. Yeah, moving further, and now technical section 2. The keynote speaker is well known, and recently and a short while ago we have had an interaction with him. CMA Professor Gaddam Naresh Reddy sir, I invite him onto the desk and please occupy the chair. Thank you, sir. Now I request Rashmi ma'am to introduce our keynote speaker to the gathering. Please, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to one and all. Sir is asking no introduction is required, but there are people who may not be aware of sir, but we all know him very well. I will conclude in very few nutshells, sir. It's my privilege to introduce sir, CMA Dr. Gaddam Naresh Reddy, sir. Sir is the Professor of Commerce, Osmania University, Hyderabad. To register about the academic qualifications, sir has done MCOM, MBA, CMA, PGDCP, MPhil, and PhD. Sir is rank holder in MCOM and recipient of gold medal in specialization. His area of interest is accounting and finance. Sir has 26 years of rich teaching and research experience. It's inspiring and worth noting that Sir has published 63 research papers and authored 17 books and edited 7. He has translated 38 MOOCs modules. He received the Best Research Paper Award on 3 occasions at the IAA conference. Sir has organized 6 national and 2 international conferences. Sir has made his contribution to 16 PhDs awarded under his guidance and currently has 2 postdoctoral and 8 doctoral scholars working under him. Sir has completed UGC major research project. He is an associate of Institute of Cost Accountants of India and is a life member of IIA, ICA and TCA. Sir is currently member secretary, Telangana State Eligibility Test. We are honored to have your presence today, sir. Now I request Dr. Gaddam Naresh Reddy, sir, to please kindly enlighten us on today's topic. Over to you, sir.
Sustainable finance and investments, especially he shared the experiences. Now we have to move on to the same topic, but the perceptions, the views, the directions which are different. Okay, anyhow, there are two extremes. One is who is having surplus funds, and the other is who requires the funds, that is deficit funds. So, even in the finance class, first day we will begin like this. Somebody having surplus money, somebody having deficit of money. The thing is, the deficit money which generally the government, the corporates, they require the money for different purposes. And the money with us, it may be investors, retail investors, high net worth investors, foreign institutional investors, even financial institutions, domestic financial institutions like that. Now with these two extremes, we have a particular mechanism. Mechanism is required for what? For the purpose of regulations. The corporate or the issuer is not going to cheat the investor. And we have to protect the investor. Right? So for that, different mechanisms which are created. It may be in the money market, capital market, forex market, like there are different markets we have. And based on this, we have the financial intermediaries, right? So here we will take the help of the financial intermediaries, like in the case of stock market, brokers and all. Now this we know very well. Whatever we are investing traditionally, generally we will go with risk and return analysis. So how much you are going to invest and how much return which you are expecting. And the risk is also associated with the amount of return which you are expecting. Now we know these two concepts, risk and return analysis, right? Return is expected return. So your expected return may be 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is. Similarly, if you are expecting more returns, the risk is also involving higher the risk. But when you are into this particular sustainability, what is the other important item which we have to consider? That is called impact. So now the impact added into our investments. Now our investments are going to influence in what manner or the way. Now with the money which we are going to invest into the corporates or the governments, these corporates or the governments are going to invest where? That is important. Now we will call it as impact investments. Investments are impactful investments. Now, for the purpose of impactful investments, now we are talking about the ESG. Environmental impact, social impact, governance impact, economic impact, these are all the impacts which we have to consider. So companies are practicing different practices which are already laid, are already having the regulations, right? Now the companies are working according to different laws. You can take Companies Law, Companies Act, okay? Now like that. For the purpose of impactful investments, are there any laws, policies, rules, regulations like? So we come to a conclusion later, or these are existed or not. Now generally students will have a confusion. What is that? What do you mean by climate finance? What do you mean by green finance? What do you mean by sustainable finance? Like, we must give a clear picture about these are the different terms which we will use or we are using at present. So see here, in the case of the sustainability talks about in the form of environmental, in the form of social, governance, and economic also. Not only ESG. Now, when you talk about environmental, now we have climate change mitigation and climate change adoption. These are the two important items which we are going to discuss, and other environmental factors also which we will consider. Now, when we focus only on the climate change mitigation, when the amount which we want to invest and we want to reduce the carbons, okay, whatever the carbon deposits which are going to be influenced by the companies or used by the companies. If you want to reduce, how can you reduce? You can reduce with the help of new technology, new machinery, new method, like. So the amount of money which companies want to invest for this particular purpose, now we will call it as low carbon finance. The money which we want to invest for the purpose of reducing the carbon deposits. Okay, for example, you can take the best example is manufacturing industries, especially cement companies. The cement company, not only that, the thermal power stations or the thermal power companies, NTPC and other, which are located in the Ramgundam Lake. Okay. Now, climate finance, the amount of money which they will raise and they will invest for mitigation and adoption practices. These are the two important initiatives the companies or the corporates will initiate, and the money is mobilized, and that money is invested for the purpose of mitigation and adoption. And that of money which we will call it is climate finance. So climate, the scope is increasing when you talk about the different terminologies which we are using. The next terminology, we will call it as green finance. So green finance consists of mitigation, adoption, and other environmental initiatives, which is comes under green finance initiatives. Later, now we will go with socio-environmental. Socio-environmental. We will also invest the money in the form of the social activities. And finally, we will consider environmental, social, governance, and economic. Now we will call it a sustainable finance. So what we are going to discuss now? Sustainability. Sustainability comes under environmental initiatives, social initiatives, governance, and economic. Okay. So this is the confusion which is there in the minds of the scholars and the students that we must try to avoid. Okay. Now these are the three important pillars of sustainable finance. One is CSR, we know very well. The companies are into CSR, corporate responsibility. Now CSR is mandatory today. CSR is the mandatory, and the companies are the corporates which are investing in the CSR activities. Now, the sustainable and responsible investing is also playing an important role, and the investors are also identifying what the corporates they are doing with their money, in what activities that they are investing. We are also having the other important aspect which is called ESG. Now we want to go into the very recent initiative which is initiated by the government, especially finance minister, which she is sharing in the budget presentation, which is called climate finance taxonomy. India is not having any climate finance taxonomy even up to today. Now the government realized and they are introduced in this budget. In this budget presentation, now sees into this climate finance taxonomy. What do you mean by that? We must require policies, principles, procedures, right? Now, not only that, now we have to categorize the various sectors of the economy, and not only but that, for the purpose of determination, categorization and determination of the pollutions which is going to be created by the different sectors, which I already shared with you. All these sectors are not equally polluted. Some are very dangerous, red mark, some are moderate, some are very low, or some are nil maybe. So it depends on the nature of the industry, nature of the sector, or the product which they are going to produce. Now, whatever the new, the existing technologies which they are using. Now, what the companies must do? They must reinvent the method, the process, the machine, or whatever the automation which they are going to initiate. Now, for that, everything must be modified if they are into a danger zone. Now, for example, you can take the cement companies, right? The thermal power company, these are into red category. Now that's why we have to look into this. Now this is already developed. We know very well in European Union, they are very much clear. They have the taxonomy, and these are the 6 broad tools are there, and the principle is that do no harm. They are already into this, but starting now. What are those? Climate change mitigation, change adoption, climate change mitigation, climate change adoption, sustainable use and protection of marine sources, transition to circular economy, pollution prevention and control, restoration of biodiversity and ecosystems. They have already prescribed the policy, guidelines, regulations, rules, etc. But we are not having any mechanism. That's why we are into this. So ultimately, what this taxonomy is going to help. So this climate and categorize the financial activities, and it will do climate change and ultimately it will help the achievement of commitments and green transition by 2070. That is the Indian target. By the 2070, India must be net zero emittent. Now this net zero emittent is a big target. Now for the purpose of that, now this taxonomy is very much required. Okay. Now this is about the updation about this particular topic. Now, presentation is not relating to the sustainable investment, finance, and the concepts like. So the background which I gave to do, based on that, we have to go for the researchable topics for the next coming seminar in the month of November. Now there are different types of journals which we know: peer review, user care, Scopus, Qubit, Topic, ABDC, Science Direct, Springer, Sage, Wiley, Ted Francis, Eberhard like. Okay, I think you know very well. These are the different publications, right? Now we have to go with here. I have selected the Scopus database. I have selected the Scopus database. Now my literature source is Scopus. The keyword search is sustainable finance and investments. Now I have used the keywords. The keywords are sustainable finance and investment. The time span which I have used here is year 2020, 24. Okay. Now the language which I have used is English. The papers published in English language related to sustainable finance and investment. Clear? So I have used this Scopus database and downloaded the files. Files which I have downloaded. Now I got how many? 1,253 papers. 1,253 papers I got from the Scopus database. Okay, so these are all the other details. You can also experience. Now, this is up to database, right? Now, with the help of this database, I have downloaded the R and R Studio. These are the two. These are all free of cost. You can also download R and R Studio. Now I want to run this data with the Studio. Okay. So what is the difference? R requires coding, but I don't know coding. R Studio requires no coding, right? It is only an app. The facilities are there. Simply you can make use of the facilities and you can run it. You will get the lot of information out of it. Clear? So annual scientific production. These are the articles. So whatever the number, that 1,235, these are all produced over a period of 2000 to 2020, 24. Now see, even in the graph also, initially the number of papers published are very less. So now over a period of time, the number is increasing. Now everybody realized the importance of sustainable finance and investments. Okay. Now this is already into even curriculum. It is already included in the degree or PG curriculum. Even we have specialized MBAs also, right? So that's why the number of publications which are included. Now these are the number of citations and average number of citations per year. So mean total citations per article, mean total citations per year, and these are the citable number of years. Now I think you know very well. If you may be published a paper, how many citations are there per your paper? You can also see, right? Now the citations which you must try to know, and the performance of the article or the author is depending on what? Number of citations. Okay? So number of citations also considered here over a period of time. Most relevant sources. The most relevant sources are sustainability, resources policy, journal of cleaner production. These are all what? Journals. The journals which are produced the articles over a period of time from 2000 to 2020-24. So this first one is 113 articles produced in their journal. And most local cited sources, the articles which are cited globally, which are cited locally within the country. The local cited articles, these are the number of articles presented, and these are the author sources. 4 sources by Bradford's law. So the Bradford's law, which is introduced in the year 1934, and these sources are arranged. They are arranged the journals in the descending order of the articles on the subject, which is called sustainability, financing and investment. Now we have to focus on the source local impact by H index. There are different types of indexes. H is one among. H index, M index, I-10 index. Okay, like that there are indexes. Now these indexes are presented here. Sustainability, H index 26, G index 42, M index is 2.16. M index is nothing but H index divided by number of years. You will get in a fraction. That's why it is in fraction. Now, total number of papers published and the start year also mentioned here. These are the citations and index also calculated here. Now, source production over the year. Whatever the sources which we have used here, these sources are produced over the period of time. So initially there are no articles and later it is picked up. Most relevant authors relating to our subject. The most relevant authors are LIH, Lex, Liv. So these are the names. Most of the articles published in the China and European countries. The research in India is very less. That's why our names which are not appearing on the top. So most local site authors also, foreign authors, their articles are published in the local citations. Now author production over a period of time. How many number of articles a particular author produced in 1 year? That is also calculated with the help of RStudio. Now author productivity through locus law. Okay, this particular law describes about the frequency of publication by the authors in a given field. It's called locus law. Okay. Now, these are all written talk, number of authors and proportion of the authors. So, authors local impact by H index. Authors local impact by the H index. For example, you may be published 10 articles, right? First article may be 10 citations, second article may be 8 citations, third article may be 3 citations, like this. Okay. Now, fourth article, 1 citation. What is your H index? Your H index is 3. In that way, you can calculate the H index. Okay. Now there is a methodology for the purpose of calculation of H index and the other indexes. Now we will also identify the most relevant affiliations. Affiliations means this author is affiliated to. For example, I am affiliated to Uthman University. Like the authors are affiliated to the different institutions. University of Oxford. Now your university, King's or university like these are the universities which produced the articles. The article is produced by different universities over a period of time. Yes, this particular subject. Our subject is very clear. Sustainable finance and investment. We are not deviating. We are not at all deviating. Our topic is that only. On that topic, in different ways, we are presenting here. Right? Now, affiliation, year, and articles. This affiliation is produced in this particular area. These are the number of articles. Here, Usmania University is an affiliation of teachers. Professors may be 10, 5, 3, which they are publishing on this particular topic in a particular year. That is also presented here. Correct authors countries. The author country. So countries are also presented here: China, United Kingdom, Italy, Germany, USA, India, Malaysia, Spain, South Africa, Australia, Pakistan, France, Brazil, Canada. So these are the authors' countries. Now these are the articles which they publish: single country publication and multi-country publication. They may be published in this country and they may also publish in the other countries. That is also you can experience where they publish it. They publish in their own country or they publish in the outside the country also. And we can also have a ratio. That ratio also you can experience. And country scientific production. This is about frequency number. And you can also see the map. Okay. So China is 640, UK 255, Italy 201. So like that we will get some 1235 articles which are published throughout the world. And countries production also. Now here I have presented because I belong to India, I presented related to India only here. So all our zeros are ones only in initial years. Most cited, which we can also take the total average article citations also we can find here. How many are total citations? Average is almost. And we will also have most global cited documents in the form of DOI. Now DOI is important today. The article is recognized with the help of DOI. So DOI is the identifier. So if you click this DOI, you will get the article. If you click it, you will get the article, you can read out. Right? Now, how many total citations are there for that article? Now, I want to read out the article, the citations are more than 100. I won't bother about less than 100. Okay. Now, that's why you can go with the number of citations. If a paper is cited more and more number, its value is more. And so, a lot of information which is there in that particular article. Right? Now, the authors are struggling to get the citations. So, your performance is evaluated in the name of citations. Whenever you want to go for the interview, they will ask how many number of citations are there, how many articles you may be producing like. This is the order of the day today. So, this is a challenge to the coming research college, and they want to work with different institutions like. So local cited documents also presented here. You can also get through DOI. Okay, this is all about the story. what is the different information which we require, like you can also experience. So reference publication in spectroscopy, which talks about detecting the historical roots of the research field. Historical roots also you can find out when it is published, like where it is published, like in the first time. That is called roots. Now I am going with relevant words. What are the relevant words with relation to this particular sustainable finance and investment? Authors use the keywords. These are the keywords which are extracted from the papers of the authors. Okay. Now sustainable development occurrence is 339. Now investments 225. Finance, investment, sustainability, like words. Analysis. It will talk about the relationships. Now, the close relationship between the different keywords, how these keywords are related. Now, countries collaboration also we can map the collaboration between China, India, China, USA, like those collaborations also you can work out. Here it is given: China, Pakistan, United Kingdom, USA, China, Malaysia, China, South Arabia, China, Australia, like these are the collaborations. Now we are into thematic mapping. Now this thematic mapping identifies the emerging themes. Now I want to write a research paper on emerging themes, right? So that those emerging themes which we have to find out, niche themes that is limited relevant. Now we will come with basic themes, but not yet well developed. Basic themes are which are not well developed: sustainable development, green finance, financial development. These are the words which I am identifying from this. Emerging or declining themes, that is minimally developed, is Islamic finance and Africa, etc. Motor themes are well developed: sustainable finance, financial development. Now the limited relevance is supply chain finance, infrastructure finance, EU taxonomy, like these are the limited relevance. So researchable topics based on the thematic mapping which I have identified and connected the words. After connecting the words, I will come to the conclusion that role of finance and inclusion in achieving sustainable development goals. You can work out on it. Energy efficiency and sustainable economic growth in developing countries. Debt management and its implications for sustainable development. Government structures and their influence on sustainable development. Impact of green bonds and global finance. Climate finance mechanisms and their role in mitigating climate change. Financing trends and future directions. Voluntary development and its impact on economic growth. These are the important themes which I have identified based on by connecting the words. Now we will go with bibliographic coupling. So coupling also you can present. This is covers latest developments and the broad things which we can find out. Each node dot is a research paper. Each node is a research paper, right? The lines representing shared reference. Two or more papers cite a paper. The thickness of the line represents the strength of the connection. Whatever the thickness of the lines are there, it is the strength of the connection between these papers. Each color is a cluster formed based on the strength of the connection between the documents. Okay. Now we will come to like this. Based on the color, now we will come to the conclusion. Red talks about green finance banks. Role of green finance, factors are affecting sustainable finance, ways to induce public-private partnership, renewable energy investment, clean investments, like these are comes under red. Now you can see here, red connections are there. Now we will also have green,
sustainable new product development, investments in sustainable initiatives, CSR performance of sustainable indices, ESG rating, R&D and green innovation. Like this, these are the topics which you can also generate out of these colors. Now blue color, yellow color, like. Now we have purple, orange, blue and brown. With these colors also we can come across these words by using these source documents. So how many topics we will find? There are so many topics you can find and you can connect your research paper. Now co-occurring network also we will consider. Future research directions. Now even if you go to an interview, now they will ask, for next 5 years, what is your research area? We must explain where on which topic you are working now. Next 5 years, which area you want to take up and where you are going to produce the research papers. That is about the future research directions. The co-occurrence map is a visual representation of relationship among keywords within the literature which we have used. Red, green, blue, yellow, like. Now these are the colors which we have, and we can also have the red is financial crisis, financial market, financial services, financial system, infrastructure, policy making, sustainable development goals, public-private partnership, like. These are the important words which you can find. Okay, so you can derive so many number of words and topics. Now, with this, I want to close here. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Now, Aparo sir is talking about. No, you are not telling I am retired. No, like you are not at all retired. Those who are young, anyone who keeps learning stays young. Our Achalam star is also young. Our Murthy star is also young. They are 18 years, 20 years, 16 years. They are all young. Yes. Those who are learning, they are young. Yeah, thank you. So learning is a flow. You must learn.
As a professor of commerce from with 45 years of teaching experience, I would say that today's seminar is the highest in the quality part. Because the first speaker gave you what way you can think to write a paper. Second presenter has shown the rigor with which you have to work the research. Though with respect, he said that both the grey-haired persons are young. After listening to his rigor and scopus, I realized how demonetized I am. Because when we were writing the research paper, we were not so meticulous. Thanks to the information technology, if you are not using at a younger age, you will be an extinct. That's what. Okay. Yeah, Professor TV.
Thank you, Naresh Reddy garu. In fact, I am also attending after a long time. And in fact, I think 30 years back, and myself, Jalpati and DD